Hi BookTube! I apologize for the funky light. I'm still trying to figure things out. This room is quite dark. But I decided my first video coming back is actually going to be a library haul. My TBR for March kind of went out the window because we decided to go to the library. And I was feeling iffy about Canada Reads this year anyways, not because of the book selection, just because I wasn't able to get to it in time. So I think eventually down the road I will get around to those books. I only own 2 of them, and the other ones, that's the reason I went to the library, was to find the Canada Reads books, but they were on hold, obviously. They had like 20 copies and there were like 23 holds, so yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. So I do have a few set aside for goals, a few books that I own, so I'll go through those first. So this is kind of like a March TBR / library haul. Let's pull those 3 books out. I've already started some of them because I thought I could start my goals in February, but then things happened, so I wasn't able to start my goals until March. I actually picked up this cute little tablet holder. My ebook's kind of small and it needs charging. Good thing I pulled that out. Anyways, on my ebook reader, not that I'm showing you anything with that, I'm going to be reading The Secret History of the Mongol Queens, because my great courses for March, this will make sense once I put up my 2022 goals. But the great courses that I'm taking is called The Great Barbarian of the Steppes, The Great Barbarian Empire of the Steppes. And so my supplemental reading will be The Secret History of the Mongol Queens. And then my fiction choice is going to be, I'm already about halfway through it because I did start this early. This is The Hounds of Harjan by Jason Shannon. And this was a self-published piece that I picked up in 2017, I believe. Did he date it? No, I picked it up and he signed it, and there's actually a Courtney in here named Courtenay, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and this is a fiction, an alternate history, almost like what if Genghis Khan was able to take over the whole world, and then his descendants ruled the world after that. It's really quite interesting so far. And from what I have read of The Secret History of Mongol Queens, it's pretty cool seeing the overlap there. And then my portable seminary, I believe the first chapter is called The Doctrine of Scripture. So my supplemental text for that is inspired by Rachel Held Ovens, Slaying Giants, Walking on Water, and Loving the Bible Again. It's a more progressive Christian text, I'll just say that. Okay, so here's what I got at the library. I was so excited because they don't separate books like I'd normally seen. And my library in my old town was actually quite bad. I hate to say it, but it wasn't the greatest. It appealed to the type of people that were in my hometown, which were generally like older people. So there was a lot of, you know, Danielle Steele and stuff like that. So I never really went to the library there. But I did here, and it's great. So the fiction section is just everything mixed in together. It was pretty cool. And then like the nonfiction was kind of grouped by theme, and then like no general order. So it was really cool walking in and trying to find things. I can see how it'd be frustrating if you're looking for something specific. I don't know exactly where to go, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So I put them all in a grocery bag. I was allowed 50 things, but I knew I wasn't gonna get around 50 things. So I'm just gonna take them out of the bag, and we'll just start with whatever order they come in. So I'm very interested in learning about religion. I'm concentrating particularly on Christianity, but I'm interested in learning about other religions. And I was thinking the other day, I don't know much about Islam. So I got this, A Thinking Person's Guide to Islam, The Essence of Islam in 12 Verses from the Quran, by His Royal Highness Prince Ghazi bin Muhammad. Yeah, and that just, it seemed, I flipped through it and it does seem very easy to understand, and hopefully it's a good introduction to Islam. And then I guess this kind of ties in. The Arab of the Future, I saw this on Brown Girl Reading's channel. I believe it was on her Instagram actually, and she's like read the whole thing. So when I saw it in the graphic novel section, I picked up the first volume. It's A Childhood in the Middle East, 1978 to 1884 by Riyad Sattouf, translated from the French. I don't have the translator. Sam Taylor. And then I also saw Fruit Baskets. I've been wanting to read this. I think I have e-copies of this, but I really prefer to read physical copies. So I got Fruit Basket Volume 1 by Natsuki Takaya. I don't know if I'll be able to find the translator. No, we just hop right into it. It doesn't tell you the translator. So there's that. Then I got, I don't want to say this title, this, Out of Carolina by Dorothy Allison. I remember hearing about this. I don't know where. It's probably like a classic of some sort, American classic, you know. So this is about a girl named Bone. It's interesting here. This is what made me pick it up. I've been called Bone all of my life, but my name's Ruth Ann. I was named for and by my oldest aunt, Aunt Ruth. My mama didn't have much to say about it, so strictly speaking, she wasn't there. So that seems quite interesting. I always like family stories. This book I actually have I have it on ebook too, but I decided to get the physical copy when I saw it was on the Black History wall, and I just like, I want that one. I've been wanting to read that. This is called The Gospel of Breaking by Jillian Christmas. It says poetry. Yeah. So that's cool. And then because I just moved to Fredericton, I decided to pick up a book about Fredericton. This is just a short history of Fredericton by Dan Secoop. Yeah, and I believe he does have a chapter on the native people. Oh, this is cool. You can adopt a book. This book was adopted by John L. Williamson. Thank you, John L. Williamson, for donating this book, I guess, or whatever, taking responsibility for it. And then I picked up Sorrowland by River Solomon. Again, I had this on ebook, but I prefer physical copies, so it's really cool that I can find this kind of stuff at the library. And I just noticed I have this clip in my ears. We went to Ardene's and got a surprise bake. So anyways, yeah, this has made its way around BookTube. I think just the first line from here. Vern, 7 months pregnant and desperate to escape the strict religious compound where she was raised, flees for the shelters of the wood. And I love stories about religion and escaping cults and stuff like that, so I thought fictional take on that would be interesting. And the last book, well, technically not the last book, but the last book that I have with me right here is See No Stranger, a memoir and manifesto of revolutionary love by Valerie Carr. And this is all about, you know, despite what the world gives us and, you know, attacks us, she's Sikh, and she experienced a lot of like xenophobia and racism and stuff like that, but she respond to everything with love. So I thought that was a good book to pick up. The other library book I have, my mom actually has right now, and that is I Fired God, and it's about escaping from the Independent Fundamental Baptist church, which is very cult-like. If you know the Duggars, they're part of that. And the Bates, they're part of that. We know all the stuff that goes on with them. I hope you do. Josh Duggar is going to be sentenced in just a couple days, I believe, for child pornography. That will give you a clue as to what these people are like. So yeah, that's my March TBR / library haul. I'm so glad to have a good library now. And thank you for watching.